Hey YouTube, it's the wrong way. Come to find out how, and this is Wrong Ways, Wyoming. Right now I'm in my studio, which is in my old machinery barn on an old farmhouse that we owe that the city of Cheyenne has moved all the way around it. With all the fires going on, going out doing some content, a lot of smoke and hard to get good views and everything. So I thought I'd do something in here in my studio. And come to find out, I need to, and I want to, keep my videos below 5 minutes. So I have a timer set on a speed painting. I was going through my paintings and I found where I had started on a art panel. A moon, I'm not sure, just had some white and was going around. So to save some time, I went and I blacked the canvas. I did the side more of a gray with the tones, and I wrote out some different things that are interesting that I feel, and you know, thinking of a desert moon in Wyoming in this time of year. But you know, there's 3 characteristics of color, and one is the hue, which is the color itself. If you're using a green or a blue, you know, etc., that'd be the color. And then the value is the brightness of it. Right now I got a white here, and you know, that's your bright. The color actually is black, and the intensity of the solid color, the black intensity of that. But now by adding white, I'm tinting the black. So actually my black, and I'm doing this as a 2-paint painting. I just have some white and black paint. This is my grays and that. So the tone of a color you would change by adding gray. And then the value of that, of course, I'm working with blacks and whites, so black and white makes gray. And levels on there just to keep myself level. While I'm doing this one, I want to talk, you know, I sort of call this a desert moon. Just had full moon go through, looking very beautiful. Sadly, with these fires, it adds some beauty, but it, you know, it's our wilderness burning, but it's adding beauty to it because the moons are beautiful oranges and reds, and I'm thinking of the deserts. Wyoming's desert, the red desert. If you're coming through on Interstate 80, you're passing through the beautiful state of Wyoming. You're going to come through Cheyenne if you're coming from the east, or Evanston if you're coming from the west. If you're coming from the west, as you get towards Rock Springs, you need more white paint. As you're coming through Rock Springs and into Rock Springs, you start into what's called the Red Desert. And then once you get into Sweetwater County, Wyoming on Interstate 80, you'll be in the Red Desert. If you're going from the east, right around the Rollins area, right after you get Rollins, you're going to be into the little spritz of water. You're going to be into the Red Desert. The Red Desert, emphasized out Red Desert because depending on the sunset or sunrise, if you catch it just right, you get a lot of red in the sky. Okay, what I'm trying to do now is swing around, of course, on that. I did do a mess up there because you want that center as white as you can, being the moon. 8 minutes left. 8 minutes left. Not the time to I'll get back to that. Okay, back to the Red Desert. If you're going through on 80, you'll see signs, Table Rock and different things like that. Very interesting if you want to get off and go do a little desert. It is a high desert. It's very, very cold in the winter. Very, very hot in the summer. It's a high desert for sure. Traveled through there many times, summer and winter, between the Rock Springs and Rollins area. So, and if you want to get off a little bit, where the cutoff goes up to Pinedale, you get that in Rock Springs. You can go to a place called the Boars Tusk. It's got a sand dunes there if you have your four-wheeler or Jeep enthusiast or anything like that. You have a nice area of sand dune that you can ride around in. And right by there, and I'll put some links in the description to some of these places of how you could find that. There's some petroglyphs up there that are just wild, and let you as artists and people that enjoy travel, you know, what is art? When the primitive man was painting and etching into the walls of where he lived, was that his art? Of course that was his art. Is it fine art? I feel it is. But interesting to go through there, and one thing is you're driving through the Continental Divide. Rocky Mountains go up to the western United States. In Wyoming, right there as you're going through on 80, you're going to be going into the Continental Divide Basin. And it is a spot that's almost, if you want to think of it as a bowl. From the west, east, north, south, and everywhere. It's the lowest point of the Continental Divide through the United States. And water from there, any rain that falls in that basin, that divide, neither goes to the Pacific Ocean or the Atlantic. It just stays right there. Doesn't get much rain, so don't have to be too concerned about having the oceans run dry because of it. But it's interesting how that is the lowest point of the Continental Divide, and just through traveling from coast to coast, and you're going to happen to be through Wyoming. You might as well enjoy some of the interesting geology. Rock Springs was a mining town, railroad town. Rollins, big railroad town. And I'm trying to give a swing in. There's the moon. It would come down. Now, painting is definitely therapy, and this is just a play around on the concept of this painting. So I'm going light on the paint that I'm using. So anything I may want to change down the line, I'm not going to be all lumpy in pesto to where I can't do that.
Complete details and rules on how to play 1019 King FM contest and win. Visit kingfm.com.
Got a minute and 38 seconds left. I hope everybody sees where I'm going with this, because, you know, 2 colors is all we used here on this one. And by changing the hue and the tones and any kind of shading that we have done, achieved real quick. So on all this, you know, for the fun of it, you know, hit like if you like it. Hit dislike if you dislike it. All I'm doing right now is just showing, really talking about the Red Desert, talking about Wyoming, talking about art, talking about how kindness through art, and art is therapy to keep yourself mellowed in these trying times. And I'm going to say that painting's in the works. We'll watch how this goes. I'll work on that a little more. Remember, YouTube, if you like it, subscribe. You know, get a bunch of subscriptions and whatever on YouTube would be great. But if I get 1 or 2 people that are watching it, interested in a little bit of history or travel of Wyoming, and some of my artwork, which I plan to give a little show around in my little corner of my, like I said, machine barn. So thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. Remember, it's about art, it's about Wyoming, it's about being kind. There you go. Beginning of what I'm going to call Desert Moon.